Hi, Disciples. I'm excited to be talking about 13 chords, my favorite jazz chords today. What I'm going to be showing you sounds like this. There, and that's the basic structure of what we're talking about here. So I'm going to give you 4 different levels of exercises to practice 13 and 9 chords, actually, in a way that's going to put it into your hands, make it intuitive, and be fun to play at the same time, enjoyable to play. So what I want to show you here is first how to construct a 13 chord. So if we look at the key of let's learn it in C first, actually. So you take to build a 9 chord, think about the C major scale. So that's all the white notes, and you actually have to think kind of like 2 octaves, because we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're gonna have all the way up to the 13th note. So you really want to think about the scales in terms of scale degrees or numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's how many we need, all right? So to build a C7 chord, to build a C13 chord, we first kind of want to think about a C dominant 7 chord. So the C dominant 7 is like the 1, the 3, the 5. It's a flat 7 here. That part's a little bit strange, possibly for some of you. So you got a flat 7, you've got a 9, an 11, and a 13. So that's technically a C13 chord. And it sounds a little bit gross and muddy. And it's common when you play 13 chords to drop out the 3 and the 5. The 5 is often omitted from jazz chords anyway, so it's not that weird. And taking the 3 out gives us a nice clean sound that sort of preserves those upper notes. So the more interesting notes, you're going to choose a 13 chord because you want those interesting notes in there. So we want to keep those in there. All right, so when we think about what happened there in a different way, if I bring this C, which we left down here, the root, up an octave, we have a nice sounding chord, actually, when you voice it like that. And what I really want to show you is that the 2 notes that sort of like start the extensions, built off of the 7th first and then the 9, they're a step away in either direction from the root, a step below the root and a step above, if we think about transposing that root up. So you've got, all right, now the next 2 sort of, it's as if you were completing a major 7 chord built off of the 7th scale degree. So if we want to say C, now this is way too much for you to think about, so don't worry about if you're getting lost here, but basically what you're after is this sound. And the way I remember it is the song Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those eyes? So if you know that song, that move there is a 13 to a 9 chord, and that's exactly where I'm building this exercise out of, is that sort of a move there, all right? So I actually want to move back to the key of D. So we learned it in C, and now let's immediately jump into a challenge. If D is our root, think about it an octave higher, go down a whole step and above a whole step. So there, we've actually already are close to completing our chord here. All right, we have, and then from there you can actually just sort of stack thirds. And does that sound right? Yeah, it sounds right to me, because I'm like, Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? I'm hearing Jeepers, I'm hearing it in my ear before I play, or as I'm playing, I'm like, yep, that's right. I also just happen to know this from practicing. That's really the key here. You want to practice this stuff so that it's intuitive. You don't want to be thinking, a major third up, major front. You want, boom, you want to just be able to like get there. All right, so in case you're sort of still want to think about this a little more logically before making it intuitive, you've got the whole step below the D and the whole step above the D. The D is in my left hand. All right, you're gonna stack up a minor third above that, and think about the major. Think about a half step below the note that your right hand is playing in the thumb. So this B. So it's kind of like a C major 7 over a D, if you want to think about it like that. But I really like to just do it by sound and feel. I know it's like this, and you can even move your hand up. All right, so here's level 1. Believe it or not, this is only level 1. And I recommend starting with D. I don't know why. That's how I've been building this exercise. It works for me because you got all white notes to start with here. So you play this D in your left hand and the rest of the 13 chord. So here's your 13 chord. And to turn it into a 9 chord, you just move this part down a half step to here and this part down a whole step to here. So get used to that movement a little bit there. Boo, 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 boo. Now in my left hand, if you want to spice it up, you can do a little 5-5-1. So I'm playing an A and a D. So you hear it gives just a little bit of an interesting. All right. So what you've done there is you've played a D13 and a D9. Those are those 2 chords. Now, to sort of, the next piece of this is to move that bass hand up a minor third. So you can think of it like this. So just go up 3 half steps and count all the way. So here, I'll play the part first. All right. Da-da-da. Now we're in an F, and what you need to create here is an F13. So we're going to do the same way. Think about the F an octave higher. You're going to go down a whole step and above a whole step for your first 2. And you're going to let the sort of the shape of your hand and the size of your hand finish out that chord. You should do it by feel and ear. You want to hear that Jeepers Creepers coming out there, all right? So now you're a third higher. You do the same thing. Now you do it again. So you go up a third. So you keep on moving up minor thirds in this way. So now I'm at a, you call it an A flat. All right. So a step below. We think about it an octave higher, and then a step below and a step above. And you think about what your hand, but like the basic shape that your hand has to make and the basic distance it has to travel after these first 2. Kind of just like drop the other ones in place. And now we're at this A flat. So A flat 13 and A flat 9. Now if you want to just do this for a while, you don't have to change for a while. If you want to think it through before you get there, that's totally fine. But the next move is going to be 3 more half steps. Now we're at a B. All right, so think about an octave higher. There it is. Now, if I go up another 3 half steps, guess where I am? I'm back at the beginning. All right, so that's level 1. Practice that and then go on to level 2 where it gets even cooler.